Kindly subscribe to the channel Cat to I'm by Manoj Mahajan so that you don't miss out the exact most expected QA question series. Today we are going to look at part 5. You can expect direct or similar question in the XAT paper. So make sure that you give a pause to each and every question, spend time, and then you can look forward to the solution to each of the questions. So when you look the question 21, it is based on time, speed, distance. So a lot of students are going to use equations out here. We are going to look the super trick shortcut of ratios. So if you look in the problem, what is given is if the person travels at 10 kilometer per hour, he returns to home at 19 hours. And if he travels at 15 kilometer per hour, he returns to home at 18:30 hours. Remember this time of shopping is there in both the cases. So when we are going to look the difference between these two timing, that is of 30 minutes, that is happening because of the traveling of Rajesh at 10 and 15 in the cases out here. So of course at 10 he's going to take more time. So what we know is if the distance is same, which is same in both the cases out here. So whatever the speed ratio you have, the reciprocal of that would be the time ratio. So what is the speed ratio if I calculate 10, 15, if I do it, if I remove 5, I mean, it will be 2 is to 3. So time would be nothing but 3 is to 2. So we are doing the reciprocal of it. So what is 1 unit given over here? 30 minutes, the difference out here. So which means at 10, he would take 90 minutes and at 15 is going to take 60 minutes. So this is 90 minutes, the traveling time. This is 60 minutes, the traveling time. Now, same distance he has to travel, but he has to return home at 18:15. So let's understand that. So you can use any of the data out here to get the answer. I'm comparing with 15 kilometer per hour. So the difference in the timing is of 15 minutes. So which means if at 15 he is taking 60 minutes to travel, over here he should take 60 minus 15, that is 45 minutes. So we know the time ratio now. So let's calculate that. That would be what 60 is to 45, which is 4 is to 3. So speed ratio would be reciprocal of it. So what is the speed at 60 minutes? 15. So this 3 is what? 15. So 1 unit would be 5. 4 would be what? 20. So the correct answer is 20 kilometer per hour. The Rajesh should walk, which would be in this case none of these. So this is a super trick shortcut which I have taught you. Make sure that you can look forward to join CAT2IM Telegram information group for latest updates, motivation stuff, and free material. And if you want discussion of any question with us, or maybe if you want further guidance and help, or if you have any query, feel free to join the CAT2IM Telegram discussion group so that we can connect on it. Let's move to the next question out here. So I do love this question which appeared way back in XAT. So it is on average, and I use one result which I have made on my own. So that is increase or decrease in average will be same as total difference upon number of observations finally. So let's see how we're going to apply out here, and we can answer the averages questions with ease in the XAT paper. So such a trick is possible in the CAT questions also. So what is the problem out here is now they're saying that let's say Rajiv has written, let's say n test, and the average is, let's say, capital A. So what they're saying is if he scores 83 marks, which means I'm going to add one test to it, and the average gets increased by 2, which means it is A plus 2 right now. And then further 75 marks, OB increase the average by, so A plus 2, add plus 1, you'll get A plus 3, and the number of tests would be N plus 2. So the question is now that if the next test is of reasoning and Rajiv scores 51, so what will be the average current rate? So let's apply this trick out here. So what is the increase or decrease in the average in the first scenario? That is 2. So whatever the average was there right now, you added a subject, if I look, with 83 marks. So over here, the difference is of 83 and the average. So when we talk about something, we are going to look forward to add in the group. So whatever number you added, that we have to look the difference from the average. And why I wrote total difference? Because you can add more than one number also. So in that case, you have to calculate the total difference of those numbers from the average. So over here, the average got increased, which means 83 should have been more than the average over here. So I'm writing 83 minus A. That is the difference we got. And how many observations we have over here after adding one uh, over here subject, that is QT. So if you look over here, initially, or you can say the test also, initially they were n. So right now it is n plus 1. So what we got the relation is 83 minus a is what? 2n plus 2. So with so ease, we are able to figure out the relation between the average and the number of test, right? Initially what we had. So if you go further, now the scenario is this. Now in this, you are adding 75 marks test over here. Again, the average is increasing, so I'm putting 1 over here, and 75 would be more than a plus 2. So remember the difference we have to calculate from a plus 2, and the number of test over here is n plus 2, not n plus 1. So what do I get over here is 73 minus a. And if I do the cross multiplication, I have n plus 2. So let's say this is relation 1, relation 2. So from 1, if I subtract 2, what do I get? Left hand side is 10, and this is what n. So my n comes out to be 10 over here, and you can put n as 10 in any of these relation and get the value of capital A over here. So 10 plus 2, if I do it in this, 12, 73 minus 12 is what? 61. So now we know this is 11. This would be what? 63. This is what? 12. This would be what? 60. So currently the average is 64. Now from outside you are adding the test score 51. So of course the average will drop and all the options are less than 64 out here. If anything would have been above 64, we could have ruled out that easily because the average will decrease. So 51 and 64 difference again will calculate from the average over here. 64 minus 51, that is 13. And how many observations we are going to have when we look forward to add one more? So that would be 13, right? So 13, if I divide, I get 1. So there is a decrease in the average by 1. So my new average comes out to be nothing but 64 minus 1, that is 63. So this is a wonderful problem where the superb trick shortcut could have been applied. So this result you can apply if you are adding some numbers. You can look forward to apply, or maybe you are removing some numbers from the group. You can still apply. Remember the difference will be like whatever you added. Let's say a number. Difference will be from the average which you have to calculate. Either you add a number or you remove a number. This could also be applied this result when there is a case of you are removing a number and replacing it with some other number. But remember, in that case, the difference is not from the average. It is a difference between those two numbers, the number which you removed and the number which you replaced. So remember that this is super trick shortcut. Let's move to the next problem, which is a bit challenging on the geometry. This appeared way back in XAT. But through this problem, I'll talk about few more concepts so that something of that sort comes in the XAT paper. You can look forward to crack it. So what is given the problem is you have a square ABCD of side 60 centimeter and with the center at A. You have drawn an arc BD. So if you want to complete a circle, I just drawn the dotted stuff over here. So this could be the circle with the center as A. Similarly, the other circle I can draw with center at D and the arc is AC. Now what they're saying is the circle is drawn such that it's tangent to side AB and the arcs BD and AC. So let me draw the circle over here and we have to figure out the radius. So this is what they are talking about. So yes, of course, it's a tough one if you are doing it for the first time. So we have to find out the radius of this circle out here. So we'll come to this solution to this problem also. But before that, I wanted to teach you some other concepts also. So either you find out the radius of this circle also, it would actually be same. But there could be a problem where they talk about that if the circle is inside this, that's a blue circle, what is the radius? Or maybe if I put another, if I say with another color, if I draw a circle out here, what is the radius of it? So I'm teaching you actually three problems through this question and this appeared in XAT. So do check out the solution till the end. So it may be a bit lengthy solution because we are looking at three problems. Of course, in the XAT, you would look at only one problem, which is given out here. So let me tell you first the circle. Let's say this is radius is R1. Let me use the blue color again over here. Okay. So what I wanted to teach you is one is, let's say if you have two circles touching externally in this way. So you should know the center of this circle, and the point of contact, they are collinear, right? And if the circles do touch internally also, in that case, also remember the center of the bigger circle, the center of the smaller, and the point of contact, they will also be collinear, right? So this is the concept which we have to look at in the question out here. So let's see how we are going to apply over here. So three questions we are solving, right? So let me take the center over here as C1 because the radius I took as R1. So just remember, if I look at the center of this circle, if I see with the arc BD, I have center A, center of this blue circle, and the point of contact. So this would be in a straight line, and you can understand that from here till here, it is nothing but the length AD, which is 60 in this case. So can I say if I draw this figure outside for you to make you understand how to get this radius R1? The question is something different, but we are learning three questions from this problem, right, Anna? So that's the way I teach also in my classes. So AC1 T. Okay, so we have to find out basically the radius of this blue circle out here. So AC1, can I say from this point till this point it is 60, and if I took the radius as R1, this will be nothing but 60 minus R1. This will also be same 60 minus R1 because this would be the center, this will be the point of contact and center of the circle, right? So we actually get AC1D as isosceles triangle. So if you drop a perpendicular from here, so of course AD would be a tangent out here, right? So when you drop a perpendicular, so let me write this as point E. So in the isosceles triangle, if you drop a perpendicular from a vertex where the equal sides meet, this would be a perpendicular bisector also. So what do I get over here? 30 and 30, right? So this is nothing but R1. So now I can use my Pythagoras to get the answer R1 over here. So we don't have to calculate R1. We'll see the problem in a while. Just I'm teaching you more concepts through this problem. So 60 minus R1 square is equal to what? 30 square plus R1 square. So you will not even get a quadratic because R1 square will cancel out and you can figure out the answer. So I would like you to guys comment in the uh, your answer in the comment box. What is the value of R1 which you're getting from here? So we don't have to calculate R1, right? But I just want you to know that we can find out the value of the radius of the blue circle if that would have been asked in the problem. So please do comment in the comment box so that I get to know that you guys are watching my video, right? So that is one concept. Let's come to second concept, and the last concept out here would be actually this problem. So let's come to second problem where we have to calculate the radius of this part, right? And let's say the center of this green circle is C2. So I'm drawing the figure again out here. Let's say if I try to calculate A is this point, you have is what C2 center of the green circle, and this is D point. So if you try figure out this value, we can look forward to do it. So it's this case actually, right? And so if you look over here, A as a center, we have the circle with the arc BD, and there is another green circle touching it, right? So when you try to calculate, let's say this value AC2, right, which we have to figure out in the problem out here. So you can understand over here, and this is nothing but from this point till this point, right? This is 60, and plus the radius of the second circle out here, which is R2. So what do I get is 60 plus R2. Similarly, this will also be 60 plus R2. And again, from this point C2, if you drop the perpendicular, this is going to bisect. So this would be what, 30 and 30. So now we have to figure out what is this length out here. So let me name this point as E, what we had before also. So if you try to find out this length C2E, so this entire is 60, right? How much is this portion if I look at R2? Correct. So what I'm just trying to say is that this length would be nothing but 60 minus R2. So you can understand from here, let's say if I, so this entire AB is what 60, this is what R2. So this length would be nothing but 60 minus R2. So you can understand that I can again make a quadratic over here. So what do I get is 60 plus R2 square is same as what 60 minus R2 square plus 30 square. So again, you can calculate R2 from here. And again, I want you to comment in the comment box so that I get to know you guys are actually following my videos, because you can expect direct or similar question in the XAT paper. So do calculate R2, R1, comment in the comment box. Of course, for the black circle, we'll calculate because that is a question also. Now let's look at the actual question out here. So let's say the black circle radius is R3. So just look over here, this value, if I say, this is what C3, let's say the center of the circle. This is perpendicular, right? So let me put this point as, let's say, F over here. So can I write AF square would be Pythagoras I'm applying in the triangle AFC3. So AC3 would be what? From here to here, you would have what? 60. And if I assume the radius to be R3, right? So what do I get is 60 minus R3 square, right? So that would be the AC3 value, and I do a square of it. minus what? C3F square, right? So then I'll be getting AF square. So this is nothing but R3 square. So can I look forward to answer this much? So it's a tough one. Let's look at this over here, DC3, right? See, DC3 would be nothing but from this point till this point, it is what? 60. And radius of the circle center C3 is R3. So my DC3 would be 60 plus R3. And I'm doing a Pythagoras, I'll tell you where. Look, from here, if I drop a perpendicular out here, so let's say this point is G. So can I say C3G? Please understand this is what R3. This total is what 60. So that C3G would be nothing but 60 minus R3. So if I subtract by doing a square of it, I would be getting what? GD square. And you can understand that AF and GD would be same. So can we equate the two? And now we can get the value of R3, which is the question also. So let's do that. 60 minus R3 square minus R3 square should be same as what? 60 plus R3 square minus 60 minus R3 square. So over here, you can look forward to use options also if you wish to, so that things become little easy for you. So as I told you that you can use options out here, or maybe you can look forward to solve it completely as well. So when you do it, let's say square of it, if I do, so 3600 minus 120 R3. R3 square will cancel out from here. And when you look at this A square minus B square concept, A plus B into A minus B. So what do I get is 120 into 2R3, right? So finally, if I look, this is what 240, 120, that is what 360 R3 is equal to what 3600. So you can calculate now, which is 10. So the correct answer to the problem is 10. And remember that we have solved 3 problems, right? So you would definitely benefit from this complete solution of 3 questions out here. And of course, in the exam hall, if this was the question, then this is the solution you have to look at, not the previous 2 solutions. So either you can put options out here once you get the relation, or you can solve also because you don't get a quadratic. It's a simple linear equation which is coming out right. So let's move to the next one out here. So these XAT people do keep testing you on the base system out here. So this is a base system question we can see. So 2 numbers are there belong to base system B. They're saying if the first number, that is this number, they're saying is a factor of the second number. See, what we can look forward is you can use options out here to make things easy for you. Otherwise, it would be a difficult base system question, and maybe you have to skip altogether if you don't use options. But using options would make things easy for you. So I'll tell you 2 approaches out here. So approach 1, a lot of people will do it. Look at the approach 2, right? So to check out the video. So approach 1, if I look, you pick up the option and calculate the value of these numbers in decimal, right? So like you have 7 into b to the power of 0, 2 into b square. Similarly, the other number also you convert into the decimal out here. So it could be a time taking because we are using the options out here. So you have to pick up any of these options, either A, B, C, D, or E, and calculate the value. Let's say if I show you with E, that is actually the answer also. So you have to calculate this value. Of course, if you pick up some other option, you will not get the first number as a factor of the second one. So you have to try with the other option. So it may be a bit time taking, but at least using options you can solve it. Otherwise, it would be really tough. And do check out the second solution also, which would be pretty easy for you, right? So 2 into 19 square, we are going to have 9 into 19, and this is what 7 into 19 0. So we have to calculate this value, and we have to calculate this value as well. So let's say whatever value you get over here, if this value divides this value, in that case it would be a factor. So as you do in the decimal system, right? So in the same way, we are looking at doing out here. So this is approach one over here. I'll show you the other approach. Straight away, let's divide as you do the division in the base over here. So you have what 297, right? So what are you going to look at? So this is in base B, right, which we do not know. So let's say 297. If I look, how many times it will go once, twice, thrice, no? So let's look at over here. If I try do it, 297 into what 3, right? So what do we have over here? The first step 3 into 7, 21. Okay. So we are looking at that finally this should give us 792 when we divide, so that ultimately 297 is the factor of it, right? So to get 2 at the end, right? So 21 you have. Now 21 you actually have to divide with whatever base you pick up, either 11 you pick up or maybe 12 you pick up. Remember that dividing with that number, the remainder should come out to be 2. So is it coming out with 11? Is it coming out with 12? Is it coming out with 15, 17, or 19? So you can understand it's coming out with 19. So I would show you the complete workout over here, but that's the only choice with which we are getting 2 out here. So what we do is remainder is 2. That's the thing which we do, and the quotient is 1. So we'll put 2 over here and 1 carry forward, right? Then 3 to 9, 27 plus 128. So this is what actually you do it in the decimal also, but you have to write the steps because you are used to it. Over here, we are not used to some other base. So I'm just putting how to work out, right? So remainder is 9. Again, the quotient is 1. So 9 over here, 1 carry forward. So 3 into 2, 6 plus 1, 7. 7 is less than 19. So we'll straight away write 792. So yes, when you do it 3 times in that base, it is completely dividing, right? So the answer is option E. So this second approach is a wonderful approach. If you have not seen such an approach before, please do make sure that you like the video, comment also, and share with these aspirants. Let's come to the last question of the part 5 over here. So this appeared way back in XAT 2010, and what is given to us is you had over here 2 poles of height, 2 and 3, right? They are separated by 5 over here. So this 5 does not play a role over here. If the gap would have been 10 also, 15 also, the answer would have been same what they're asking over here, right? So the height of the point of intersection of the line joining the top of each pole to the foot of the opposite. So this is what we have to join. This is what we have to join. And what they're asking, let me draw with another color out here. So this is what they are looking forward, the value, right? Correct. So if you join this, what is this figure? If I look over here, let me just name this over here A, B, C, D. There's nothing but a trapezium, right? So just remember a few basics of the trapezium so that such questions can be answered with ease. So you pick up any trapezium out here. Okay. Let's say A, B, C, D, some other trapezium I have. And this is parallel to this. Let's say this is side A, this is B. And you draw a line parallel to these two parallel lines. And let's say this ratio is ms to n. So you should know this basic that the length EF is nothing but M into this side, that is B, plus N into A upon M plus N. So you should know a specific case also when E and F are the midpoints of the sides, which means M by N ratio is 1:1. In that case, that would be a specific. The length of EF would be nothing but put M by N ratio as 1:1. You get the simple arithmetic mean of the value of the parallel sides which you have, right? But over here, what we have is another specific case. What is that specific case? The line which is parallel to the parallel sides, okay, it is passing through the intersection of the diagonal. So that is again a specific case out here. So we should know that basic how to get the answer. So let me draw the line AC, the diagonal, and the other BD. So what is the specific case out here? The line is parallel to the parallel sides, okay, and passing through the intersection of the diagonals. So this is the specific case we have. Now in that case, this ratio will also come out to be A is to B. If you use the concept, M upon N would come out to be A upon B. So if you use this again, so in that case, specific value you get over here, that is harmonic mean 2AB upon A plus B. That's what you get, right? So if you have this point, let's say G, in that case, if you calculate, EG would be A into B upon A plus B, and similarly, GA would also be A into B upon A plus B. You can use the basic similarity to get this. So you should know as a concept, right? I'm not here to teach all the concepts out here. So this is not a complete line, okay? So if it would have been a complete line, the answer would have been 2AB upon A plus B. They are asking only till the intersection point of the diagonals. So that would be what? A into B upon A plus B. Achha, one more thing before I get the final answer to this. One thing is sure that this line would be less than 2 and less than 3. So you can rule out option 3, you can rule out option 4. So you're left with 3 choices, 1, 2, and the fifth one. So what is A out here? 2. What is B out here? 3. What is, again, I put 2 and 3. So what do I get is 6 upon 5, that is 1.2, which is your option number 1. So I've taught you some other basics also through this problem of the trapezium. You should know it. Make sure that you keep following us on the channel CAT2IM by Manoj Mahajan. If you do love the videos, then definitely you should do comment also, like also, and share with these aspirants. You can join the information group for latest updates, free material, and the motivational stuff. Do join the discussion group Telegram so that you can ask your query. You can ask your doubt also. If you want any further guidance and help, you can look forward to join this. So make sure that you do share with these aspirants. Thank you so much.